Hello, hello. Welcome to the series where I attempt to put all Umamusume stories into a singular timeline. The evidence I consider are the Umamusume stories and mandatory career events. Those are events like BMW and Peak, not fan letter and dance lesson. Last time, we covered the year prior to the Golden Generation. Now, we will be going even further into the past. Multiple years will be covered today, so this series doesn't take forever to come out. So, as a refresher, Special Week 1 told us that tryout races were in June, August, October, and December. However, Meijiro Bright had a rogue tryout that I had to put into March. I hope I never have to do that again. Also, I'm going to be mentioning actual years now, so it is easier to keep track about what time period we're talking about. If you had looked at the calendar years I'd used last time, you'd know that the Golden Generation I had set in 2026, and the prior year is 2025. Alright, let's go. It's 2020, several days before December's tryouts. Narita Taishin is worrying about her ability to perform well in the race, but only worries her friends with the lengths she takes. Going to tryouts day, she and winning Ticket to participate in separate races, Taishin getting 10th and Ticket getting 5th. Later that night, Taishin continues to push herself far too hard, only stopping when Ticket and a trainer calm her down. The next day, Taishin is told by the student council president that her poor adherence to the rules has her close to being kicked out of the academy. To remedy this, Ticket, the trainer, and her other friend Biwa Hayahide devise a scrimmage to prove that she is still able to show results. Over the next few days, they spread word around campus so everyone knows to watch her. On the day of the scrimmage, Narita Taishin gets first place and gets scouted. It is now May 30th of 2021, the day of the Japanese Derby. Winning Ticket is watching, talking with a trainer about her dreams of winning the race, and endears herself so much that the trainer scouts her. Of course, they then start training, attempting to get Ticket to understand the basics of strategy. Fast forwarding to August, Hayahide is preparing for tryouts with this formula that she informs a trainer of. This formula somehow predicts exactly what happens in her tryout race, and it really impresses this trainer. Several days later, Hayahide and her sister, Narita Brian, are chatting as multiple trainers attempt to scout Brian, who ignores them. The trainer from earlier and Hayahide leave Brian behind. She tells the trainer her life story and gets scouted. A few days later, the Sprout Kinen, which is a junior year race, has its roster announced. Surprisingly, Brian is on the list despite neither having debuted or a trainer. Now let me level here. The Sprout Kinen isn't real. I'm going to be making up a date. Closer to the race, Brian falls ill and Hayahide needs to sub in for her. Hayahide even ends up winning the race. In September, the Tracin meet takes place, with Hayahide and Ticket participating. Ticket's friends are shocked and impressed by how much she's improved. I chose September for the Tracin meet because of this line: lots of debuting racers are in my race, and Hayahide is participating, so I put it after her scouting. Now we're at the October tryouts. Runners including Narita Brian. Mayano Top Gun, having neglected all of her training, is not allowed to participate and must be watched by a trainer. Brian wins her race, of course, but Mayano's astute observations of the runners gets the notice of the trainer watching her. That trainer goes looking for Mayano the next day, and taking Yukino Bijin with them, they all watch a race featuring Gold City and Tamamo Cross. Brian has been challenging racers to scrimmages, but when she starts her final passes, she notices that they lose their drive and hope to win. She hates this, and it is killing her drive to compete. Another trainer who was watching that scrimmage wants to know more about her, so for a few days, they attempt to talk to her with no avail. After a scrimmage between Brian and Hishi Amazon, that trainer finally gets their chance to talk. She tells them one thing and leaves. Mayano had been watching the scrimmage from the roof with the trainer she was with earlier, as she is still banned from entering any races. Mayano asked to go places because she was bored. Still intrigued by her observations at the tryouts, they agree to go tomorrow. The next day, After going all over the city, the trainer convinced Mayano to actually attend training under them. At the same time, the trainer that had been trying to scout Brian was wandering the streets when Hayahide approached them. Hayahide was worried that Brian might leave the school due to her lack of enthusiasm, so she tested the trainer's abilities. When she was satisfied, she told them to invite Brian to her debut race. This race doesn't have to be the next day, but it can be, so I'm putting it there. To convince her to attend, the trainer had to stake their career on impressing her with this race. Thankfully for them, Brian is impressed by Hayahide's first place performance, and she is even more impressed by the fact that the other races are even better. She then forces the trainer to scout her, though it would have happened anyway. Mayano had started her training during this time as well. Brian continues to challenge others to scrimmages, but now understands that she had been underestimating them before. One of these scrimmages was against Mayano to her delight. She did lose, but got onto Brian's radar. Okay, now we fast forward once again, because Mayano, Brian, and Hayahide all debut in different years, making this an incredibly early scouting for Mayano. We're now in late May of 2022. Hishi Amazon is participating with Fuji Kiseki in the Battle of the Dorms Pool Edition, managing to fail all but one question. Amazon spends the next few days helping other students out with various things. A trainer notices this, but she refuses to be scouted before running in the tryouts. Closer to the tryouts, one of the students she knows is having a difficult time being confident in her abilities, and Amazon is unable to resolve it. The trainer and Biko Pegasus arrive, Biko informing her that Brian is in Amazon's tryout race. The trainer helps Amazon train up for the tryouts. The day prior to the tryouts, Amazon tells the student from earlier to watch her run, attempting to inspire her. The next day, Brian, Amazon, and Biko run in the tryout races. No, I don't know why Brian is running again, but Amazon 3 mentions that Hayahide has already debuted. This must be a different race. Maybe there isn't a rule against Umamusumes with trainers running in the tryouts, for some reason. Anyway, Amazon gets second to Brian's first. The student from earlier was inspired, and Amazon becomes the trainer's trainee. So, that's all of the racers that are out. However, to directly connect this to the previous video, we need to look at Mayano's career event at Summer Camp Year 2. Here, it says that her and Marvelous Sunday debut at around the same time. What does this mean? If we go to Meijiro Dober's first Aremakinen, we will notice that Marvelous Sunday appears as a senior racer. Therefore, Mayano Top Gun debuts sometime prior to Meijiro Dober. And that is all I have for this video. I only have a slight bit more research to do, but the entire timeline I've built is pretty much solid at this point. Most of the new characters that are coming out are from after the Golden Generation, which unfortunately is a nebulous place with very little connections to each other. That'll suck when I get there. If you liked the video, please tell me how to improve in the comments. If you thought it was really good, however, please share this video around. The more different people who see this, the better I can make it. Alright, be seeing you.